Hey guys, it's Tessa. Okay, so this week is a little more of I just need to catch up on stuff because I was sick for a week and a half. I swear to God, Gibby, don't start playing. Well, if you guys hear Gibby at all, he wants to be part of the show. Like I was saying, since I was sick for like a week and a half, I'm like a week behind on making things in my mind. So this week is gonna be mostly just finishing shit up, okay? I've got too much stuff to finish. So this is the sunflower cardigan that I'm working on, and I'm using inspiration from the Wild Oleander hooded scarf cowl guys. That's how I'm doing the sizing currently. And this is gonna be known as the sunflower one. Doesn't matter, not the point, whatever. Anyway, next. So, I got this guy going. I started a bunny beanie, early July, and it's still not finished. There's like 4 more I wanna make. I've got a witch hat in process, but yeah. And then I think I also have at least one other project also in the works. I can't remember exactly what it is at the moment. Point is, we're gonna finish some shit up this week. That is the goal here. I'm pretty sure I can finish this cardigan in the next few days. I have most of this panel done, which is the first panel, but I'm using this first panel as kind of a guide for modifications I'm making to my overall style of doing these hexagon cardigans. Like for example, I'm using an 8mm hook instead of a 6.5 loosely. I think I prefer the 6.5, but I don't know, not the point. But that is where we're at right now. I have all the way up to, I think right before the last yellow or through the last yellow on the second panel done. But again, I'm modifying the way I do this a little bit to see if I like it more. And if I do, it'll become like a standard way of me doing it. But that is where we are at. I have to go walk Mr. Gibson. So unfortunately, I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I am getting kind of annoyed with the sunflower cardigan. Firstly, it's now Wednesday and we didn't check in at all yesterday. Work has been, I've said this several times, that work's been like a nightmare or something, but this week is single-handedly testing me in every meaning of that word. It's really frustrating. So last night I decided to take some time to myself and just exist a bit. And what that ended up meaning was I started the Twisted Bleeding Tooth mushroom hat. Clearly not finished, but I'm cruising on it. I'm to the frill sections, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at right now. So I'm working on those. And I'll check in when I decide to stop for the night. I will say, because these patterns use multiple strands of yarn worked at the same time in smaller hooks, it does end up hurting my hand a bit more. Like for example, currently I'm using 3 strands of Loops and Threads Impeccable because it's a thinner yarn just in general. So I'm using 3 strands of that at the moment with a 6mm hook, which is kind of hard on my hands. Honestly, it hurts. It hurts a little bit over time. So I'm making sure to take as many breaks as I need to, switch to different projects as I continue working, so on, so forth. You get it. So that's where I'm at currently. I've done the first few rows of the frills. I think I'm gonna run out of yarn, to be quite honest here. So I think worst case scenario, I end up just adding in a strand of something, or I go pick up couple more shades of red and hope that they're similar dye lots. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at this point. I don't really have another option at the moment. Okay, so I'm pretty sure my last clip got either corrupted or didn't save or download for some reason onto my SD card. I don't know, but I 100% promise that I did film a clip before this talking about how we've switched up this video. All right, I said it was gonna be the hat special essentially for the market, and I've kind of just been locking in on the mushroom hat, so the Twisted Bleeding Tooth by Twisted Hatter, and this is where we are at so far. I have the entire top piece done, and I'm finishing the last set of the gills, or the start of the gills now. Because I don't have the wire in, it's flimsy, but just to give you an idea of how large this thing is, I think my gauge might have been a tiny bit off, maybe. This is where we're at. So I'm hoping to finish doing the gills tonight. It's also Thursday. I cannot remember when I checked in last, besides the clip I'm missing now. But this is kind of where we're at. Had to go to Michael's, had to get more yarn. Oh no. And then I have an idea as well for another one of these in like a dark, like forest green color with like a, you can kind of see it. It's this color here in the corner. It's like a frosty, like minty greenish color for the accents. I think that would look really nice. But yeah, I'm finishing up the last round of the gills, or the last set of like 6 gills, to then get started on the underside or whatever is next with this pattern. For some reason, this is just a me thing, but every single time I do one of Natalie's patterns, I've done 2 of them or 3 of them at this point, I don't really remember. But anyway, anytime I go to do one, there's always a section that my brain just does not comprehend because I can't read correctly. Like on the Twisted Chomper is what it's called, I think. On the PD Piranha hood I made for my husband, there was a section with how the front piece connects underneath that I just could not understand. Like my brain, I couldn't register what it was trying to say, and it was really frustrating. This pattern did something similar. She has a parentheses noting that for a future row you'll be doing back loop only, but for this row you'll do front loop only. And in my head I kept reading it as the first stitch only is front loop only, while the rest of it's back loop only. So every time my stuff was showing up on the wrong side. I'm dumb, essentially, is I can't read. That's the problem here. But that's where we're at on this. I'm gonna finish up this section of the gills and go from there. It's Sunday morning. It's been a hot minute since we checked in because I was really hoping to have the under part of the mushroom hat done before I checked in next, but it's been like 3 days. So let's just kind of review where we're at and kind of my plan now, because this hat's taking way longer than I thought it would. So we have the mushroom hat start. I have most of the inside done. I've got just a series of like 5 rows of decreases left to do. The angle's just really hard because I like crocheting close to my body, and this forces it to be a distance away, so each row is a little bit difficult. But when we put her on, it's it does the thing. It hats. So that's good. I was really worried the wire wasn't going to be thick enough just because I have 18 gauge and 20 gauge and not 16, which is asked for in the pattern. It's unclear also, it is unclear if the wire is doubled over, or if the way she interlocks it is what the section that's doubled over. I'm not really sure. I'm a little bit tired. But because this hat is taking me so long, I am instead gonna pause on that to finish the sunflower cardigan. That is this guy. I don't even know which side is up or not. That's this guy. This panel just needs the cuff to be done, and then I need to finish the last row of yellow in the white section and the cuff on the other panel, and then it will be done. So that's nice. I think I mentioned this previously, but if I haven't, I'll mention it here as well. I think I'm going to go back to using my 6.5mm hook instead of the 8. I thought the 8 would be more helpful. I don't think it is. I think just the way my tension is with the 6.5 is just different from how it is with this 8. And I think it would look quite a bit differently if I did use the 6.5 instead. But plan for today is to hopefully finish the second panel. And I don't really care too much about getting the cuffs done and sewing together and all that stuff. Hopefully I get through the second panel is kind of my goal. As I've mentioned previously as well, work has been an absolute nightmare, and that starts again tomorrow. So today is mostly just me trying to vibe and chill. But yeah, I'll check in again once we get through this guy. Alrighty, so it's Sunday night. I haven't gotten much done, but I have gotten stuff done at the same time. It's been a day. I've been very tired and just not very motivated, but this is where we were at with the mushroom hat. I know I said previously I was not going to keep working on it. I lied. I did my 6 decreases and then I went, now I'm done with this. So, the mushroom hat. Currently, does not fit into frame. But it's doing okay. I finished the decreases, that's all really. I still have to seam up the open spaces that connect the top and the bottom frills. And then I have to do all of the like mushroom spots. The way Natalie does it in the pattern is she creates like circles and like teardrop shape, like amigurumi type things, and then sews those on. I don't know if I love that idea personally, just because this is already pretty heavy. I'm already worried enough as it is selling this item, let alone somebody being able to take it home with them and or it going on my website. Just because it's rather hefty as it is, and the only support in it is a decent amount of wire. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna think about it a bit more. The hood I made for my husband last year just uses like rounds of circles instead, so I might do like a combination of the two where I make like smaller spheres but larger like flat laid circles. I don't know, I'm gonna test a couple things and see what I like, but again, this is where we're at with the mushroom hat. Okay, as for the project that I said I was going to get done today, I did. Just be proud of me. I've also been working on this cardigan for about a month, almost, probably. I started it a little bit before I got sick. Then I was sick for 2 weeks. And then I didn't work on anything at all pretty much last week because of work. And then I burned through it tonight. So, I am wearing a sweatshirt already, so it's going to be a little funny, but work with me. Also, this is massive. I think I mentioned this, but I will not be using an 8mm again to do these cardigans. It took me way longer than it usually does to complete this one. It'll still be priced out at the same rate, and it's just way more, like the arms are huge. I took 3 rows out of the arms, and it still turned out roughly the same bigness as all the other ones. But here is what I'm calling the sunflower cardigan. Ta-da! Yeah, I did green cuffs, so of course it's green, so it's not going to show up correctly on the camera. But I did like a sage green color for the cuffs. I think it looks pretty cute. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's all I really worked on today. And we did. Aren't I cool? Probably not going to do anything else for tonight, but I want to get back on track with the hats that were the original plan of this video. So I'm gonna probably start game planning those for this week. So last night I got started on the first half of the current bunny beanie that I'm working on. It's going to be this baby pink color in black. I'm hoping I have enough of this pink color left over, which I doubt I will, to do just like a half white and half pink beanie maybe, using the pattern just about the bunny ears. We got the first half done. I finished it right after I finished work, which was like 20 minutes ago. But now I'm gonna work on the bunny ear for this side and then start on the second side. I finished this guy. It's gonna look crazy with my hair right now, but there we go. This guy's finished and weaved in, and it's done. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it would, but that's also because I had to keep stopping throughout the night to do some stuff. But this guy's done. I haven't really worked on anything else tonight. At least that pertains to this video. I'm always working on my little sweater that I'm making. But that is it for now. I think tomorrow I have noted to make a little spider guy. But I don't know if I'll do that or if I'll make something else instead. We'll see then. I just finished work and it was a nightmare. That's not the point. I decided I'm not gonna make another bunny beanie today, but instead I'm gonna make the foolery cap. Hold on. The Fae foolery cap. I am gonna be using the same pink as yesterday and a light blue shade that I have. I guess it's coming up a little more purpley. It's more like a sky blue. And I'm gonna use these two colors. Hopefully I have enough pink. I think I do. And I'm gonna make one of those guys. I think I have made a vital mistake. To clarify, the pattern did say to use a weight 3 yarn, but I assumed, you know, me and my assumptions, I assumed it would be fine since the pattern maker notes that they used big twist value worsted and it worked. So I was like, oh, okay, so I can use any worsted and it should work. Especially like impeccable, which is a thinner like weight 4. Let me show you real quick, ignore how I'm saying my hair looks, but let me show you real quick what we're dealing with here. So, grave mistake that I must have made, or may have made, is they stick straight up. So they just stick straight up. And like I can push them down, yeah, and I guess technically it works. Maybe I didn't make a grave mistake. Maybe I jumped the gun. I've literally been working on this all night and I feel like I've made no progress, so it's really frustrating on my brain. But I guess, oh no, because it just goes, I don't know. Hold on, let me look at the pattern again. You know when you get lost in the sauce, okay? I think that's what's happened to me right now. I got lost in the sauce of making this and not really paying full attention. Yeah, no, okay, oh, see, it's gone now. Okay, so in the pattern, it's very clear that their, like, droopy droop is much more droopy droop than mine is. Obviously, I haven't done the edging, brim, whatever the fuck it's called. But, like, their droopy droop is like, and it, like, droop droops. I feel like this one doesn't. It doesn't droop droop. Like it is here. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me finish this. Let me work on this some more. We might not check it again tonight. We might check in tomorrow once this is done because I don't think I can do the brim in tonight. It's been a week, okay? It's Tuesday. And it's been a really long week for me already. And I think it's starting to show here, maybe. I will say though, I am filming this at the same time as I hit 500 subscribers, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm lost in the sauce. That's alright. Okay, so before I come on camera, we're all gonna agree to not laugh and giggle at me, okay? I don't know what I did wrong. So it's supposed to sit more into like this position where it's a little more like flopping down. Currently it either sticks straight out or straight up. So I don't really know what to do about that. I could steam it maybe. I just don't know if that'll do much with how small the stitches are. Maybe I'll try that. I don't really know. But also, I'm convinced I have jinxed myself. So this won't be, but this will be the final time that I say work was an absolute shit show and the worst it's ever been, okay? Today was a day and I don't want to talk about it. But I swear if tomorrow is like today, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna lose it is what's gonna happen. Anyway, I think this is where I'm gonna end this video. I'm so frustrated with this pattern. I'm frustrated a bit with the mushroom hat. I'm just kind of frustrated in days now. And so I just want to be done with this. So I think for now, I'm going to put this hat in Whip Island until I can either steam it or figure something out with it. If you think it looks cute in either of the positions you saw it in, let me know. Maybe I'll just send it to somebody if they like it. I don't really feel confident selling it or having it as something that's available on my site until I kind of figure out the shaping a bit more and figure out kind of what I did wrong with it. So ignore how crazy my hair is at the moment. I took a shower and blow dried only my bangs. But that is where we are going to end this video to give a little recap of everything we've done. We finished a total of 2 items this week, one of them being the pink and black bunny beanie, which I love and low-key hope does not sell. And then I also finished the sunflower cardigan. I'm not going to unfold it because it's a nightmare. I think this weighs either twice as much as my normal cardigans or close to twice as much or 1.5 times as much, whatever. So it's heavy, it's large, and it's a mess. The mushroom hat, I have done nothing for. So where we ended earlier this week with just having the underneath done, we are still in the same boat of having the underneath done. I think I should have done the cap in here a little tighter, but I kind of am glad I didn't. But yeah, I still need to deal with these guys and sew them shut and then start on the mushroom balls or whatever they're called. I'm like a frogs, lavender, herbs kind of cottagecore girly pop and not a mushroom, fungi, that kind of stuff. So I don't know anything about that. But that's where we're at. That's where we're ending this video. And next week come back. I've got something fun brewing next week. And I'm really excited for it, / don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet, and it's just gonna be another video of me yapping my ass off like always. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, come in next week, see what else I've posted. The last several videos have been a little bit more chaotic than usual just because I'm losing it. But if there's anything you do want to see from me or have any questions, I'll leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.